It's me again, guys. Welcome to my channel. Alright, guys, man, it's me again. So, we got this car right here. We got this Mini Cooper S. Came in for the battery keep draining. So, the customer put two battery already, and then he keep doing the same thing over and over. Like, seem like something keep draining the battery. So, we came here and drop it off. So, we're gonna try to figure out what's causing the battery drain. So the customer didn't really tell us exactly what's going on. So I'm about to do the basic diagnostic. So trying to make sure we didn't miss anything else while we trying to figure out why it's draining the battery. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and check the relay and the fuses. Make sure there's nothing short out on the system. Because I've seen this problem before on this type of vehicles. It's a Mini Cooper. Usually the radiator fan would stay on, and it'll eventually just drain out the battery. So I'm gonna do the what I experienced before on this type of vehicles. I'm gonna try to duplicate it. Maybe it could be the problem. So just hang on, just hang stay with me and trying to figure out together with you. All right. So that's it, guys. So we're gonna do all the basic step. The first thing we have to do, just make sure all the relay and fuse is good, and then try to check the fan. Make sure the fan is not spinning or stay on. So I did jump start the vehicles. When I jump start the vehicles, try and start it, try and see. I get the car started because I got a jump, and then the alternator was charging fine, and then I started up trying to see if it's the radiator fan or the AC fan are staying on. So I got the car started right here. So I'm just waiting. I was just in the car trying to see what else could I see after I turn up the vehicle. So I was trying to turn on the AC, right. So look at the temperature right there. Try to make sure the radiator fan and the coolant temperature is good, because usually when the coolant temperature is out of spec, will keep the radiator fan stay on. You know, I've seen that coolant temperature that is shorted and cause the battery to drain because the fan stay on. So right now I'm just doing all the basic testing. So I'm trying to make sure that the AC is working fine. And then when you turn the AC on, usually the the AC fan will stay on. So I'm doing that right now. I turn the AC on. So I'm trying to see if the fan's gonna kick in. If the fan kick in when the AC on, the relay and the fuse and everything is fine, and the fan is fine. So it seems like the fan's turning on. So I got her running. So I guess the fan is working fine. So now I'm gonna try and go turn it up, and then trying to go for the heat. Trying to find out if I'll go for the and raise up the temperature. See if is it gonna make any difference. So I'm here trying to figure out, trying to pick my brain, see, hoping I can figure out the problem on this car. So now try and go back to the fuse and the relay, see if I might miss something. So right there, guys. So I'm still trying to figure out, man. So I'm trying to raise the vehicles now and see what's going on underneath the car. All right, so yeah, I got the car in the air. So I did put the jump box on the battery to keep my battery going, and then I did kind of duplicate the problem now. So I turned the car off, and I did hear some noise. I hear some like a fan running. It's not like a fan. It's like I hear like a motor running, like the some type of power steering pump running. So right there, I did notice. I did kind of find out the problem. There's a reason why the battery keep draining, because the electronic power steering pump It keep constantly, continuously running, and then and I did wait for like 2 3 minutes, see if he's gonna would stop running. After that past 1 minute, I waited, and then still running until I realized that my jump box voltage dropping. So that's probably why it's draining the battery. So okay, so now I'm um I'm looking at the power steering pump right now. So I was thinking could be something stuck there. Could be the motor stuck. That could be the actuator, because this type of motor is built-in module with the actuator inside, and they keep that it's like a it's like the way that it's set. If the power steering pump is the actuator electronic module is wet and contaminated with some oil, and what's gonna happen, he's gonna have a bad ground in there, and then the pump is gonna continuously pumping, even though the engine's off, you know. So trying to see if he could unstuck the actuator thing in there. So I was trying to hammer it with some flathead, because sometimes I've seen that happen before. You hit it with a little hammer, tap it out, and see if it's gonna make any different, but it didn't. So we definitely found the problem. The problem is the power steering pump is bad. So now I'm trying to disconnect the battery before I, s- I start tearing everything apart and replace that electronic power steering pump. Because you know what? The electronic power steering pump, man, for real, that thing costs a lot of money. So all right. So the first thing I have to do, disconnect the battery. When you disconnect the battery, and then you have to drain the power steering fluid. So when you drain the power steering fluid, make sure you have the special tools to suck out all the fluid out of there. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to empty the reservoir. So now I finally get the power steering pump. I meant electronic power steering pump. Like I told you, this pump is not cheap, guys. That's why I disconnect the battery right away. Either way, you still gotta disconnect the battery every time you do any big job. When it comes to electronic, you have to disconnect the battery, because you don't want to try to plug everything together. Next thing you know, short the system, might catch on fire, or you might destroy the new pump, or destroy something else. So make sure you always disconnect the battery every time you do something like that. So all right, see me right here. I'm trying to every time I do doing every time I replace parts, I always try and look for the new parts. I'm trying to see how the new parts look like. If anything that's different from the old one, if it does, so I can return it right away and fix the problem there. So all right, guys. So now we're gonna start with the tearing everything apart. So when you do that, everything's just common sense now. All you gotta do is slowly try and rip everything apart. So I took off the cooling fan for the power steering, electronic power steering, and everything is pretty much you just come and go. So the first thing you have to do, you're trying to disconnect that the return hose to attach to the power steering pump. That was like there's a there's a factory clamp in there. That one might give you a hard time. So you just gotta try to cut it off. When you cut that off, and then you have to use a breaker bar, trying to push the hose up because it's frozen in there. When you do that, the fluid is still gonna come out, because that you still gotta have some power stream fluid in the system, so it's gonna drip. Make sure you got some catch plate underneath to catch the old fluid. Also, make sure you always wear your safety glasses, man. That safety glasses is gonna cause you a problem if you don't wear safety glasses. After you do that, see right there, I'm trying to pry it off the high pressure line. It's only take like 13 millimeter bolt holding the power steering high pressure line. It's 13 millimeter. So after you disconnect that one, you pop it out, and then you get the return hose and high pressure line disconnected. Now you just gotta try to pull the whole power steering pump out, and also it has two power plug in there. You get the signal plug and also the direct power plug. Make sure you disconnect that too. So now, see, see that I'm trying to rip everything apart. Make sure you disconnect separate the power steering bracket to the power steering pump, because if you don't do that, it's gonna be harder for you to separate the two piece. See, and I just did that. See the power plug. Make sure the main power plug disconnected. It's sometimes hard to get it up while he's up there. So sometimes I just pull the whole thing out and disconnect it from the outside. Because if not, it'd be harder for you to try to disconnect it. So that's what I did. See that? I even have to use the small pick just to disconnect it. After you disconnect all the power steering pump and everything, make sure you clean the area. What I did, I just clean it up with a brake cleaner and wipe it down because it's totally soaked it with power steering fluid. And also you wipe down the power steering pump housing bracket. So I wipe it down, clean it real well, and now that's how the pump come out. It come out from the bottom. Nothing else you have to do. So you have to disconnect the also you have to disconnect the motor mount, the torque motor mount right there. You have to disconnect that one so you got more room to remove it. See, the trick on this one, make sure you put the power steering pump first before you put the bracket, because if you're trying to put them at the same time, dude, you're gonna be there all night. So that's what I did. Power steering pump first, and then the bracket. And until then, he just worked himself out, and there's like 10 millimeter bolt holding that pump to the bracket. So by the time you do that, everything will be easy by then. Just like that, guys. And then everything we just put everything back together. And I mean, what how you remove it, just reverse it. How you put it back. That's it, guys. All right,
Living
man.
life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. And in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sunday.
All right, guys, man, we about done. We got it going. We diagnostic the problem. We put the parts in it. All you gotta do now, top up the power steering fluid. And in this type of vehicles, there's no special way to bleed the system. All you gotta do, top the fluid on. Make sure you top it off. After that, you start the car, and then turn the steering wheel side to side, and then shut it off. Let the bubble come out. Let it pop out. After that, you're done, man. That's all you gotta do, man. Hopefully you learned something on this video.
And I pray, all I need are some better days.